Hi there. In today's video, we're going to go over how we can support Active Directory domain networking, and let's get started. In our VM lab, we got already two PCs that we're going to be working with, and a domain controller and a member server also. So let's get started. I'll go ahead and enter my password here into the administration window. A little background about myself. I'm currently A+ certified CompTIA and actively pursuing my Network Plus and Cyber Security Plus through CompTIA through Calbright College Online with a main focus towards cybersecurity. So we'll get started. We'll head down to the Start menu and we'll go to Run, and we're going to enter into the control panel. Now first, we're going to go into system properties and hit change, member of domain, and we're going to create our name for our domain. Which should be court.515support.com. And we're going to select OK. And we're going to give our password. And we're going to have to restart. So once we do that, we can get started by joining the new user to the Active Directory domain and the computer also. Close that out, and it'll prompt us to restart one more time. So first, once we get back into our PC11 computer, we've got two of them. You can see PC10 and 11 in our domain controller member server. We are going to test the connectivity between computers now that we've initiated the process. So we are going to log in as the other user, enter our password and username. Okay, great. So we'll just do some basic tests for the connectivity between the computers. We're going to go into our Powershell. And the first command we'll run is host name. That way we get the name of our PC, and we can see it's PC11. Now we're going to do another simple command, ipconfig. And this will give us our connectivity information, DNS and IPv6 address, subnet mask, default gateway basics. So now what we're going to want to do is ping the other computers like PC10 rather than our PC11 and the member server. So We're just going to do that real quick. Four results, and you can see we've got 4 successful results with the time to live for PC10, so we're good there, we know. And we'll ping the member server. And we got ping statistics for both using 2 different subnets. And just to make sure, we'll open up a browser in Firefox and just see how we can access a basic website. And we're successful there as well, so we'll just go ahead and close it out. And we'll do one more simple command while we have PowerShell. We'll do ns lookup just to get our basic mail configurations. And we can see right here we got that. And the DNS name records, they can be configured to distinguish different services and networks and apps. But for this sake, we're just going to point to the same server. So we'll just go ahead and sign out of the PC10. Right click and start, shut down, or sign out. Signing out. So now we'll configure the domain account for our user, new user. And for that, we're going to go into our domain controller, which is running the Windows Server Management System. And we will enter our administrator password. And you can see down below here, when we go to the little internet icon down below on the right corner, we have no internet access. So this will load up in just 1 second. Here we go. Now in the server manager, we're going to go to tools and Active Directory users and computers. And in the left pane, under Active Directory users and computers, we're going to expand corp515support.com. And over on non-admins, expand that, and we can see the current users that are in this domain right now. We're going to add another user named Ronnie for the sake of it. So under non-admins, we'll right click, go to new, and then down over here to user. And we're going to enter Ronnie as the first name. And it also appears as the full name also. We're just going to go with his first name. And user login name. And we will say next. And we'll give a generic password for the sake of our VM lab. And uncheck user, must change password to next login. Come down, password will never expire. We'll use that. In most real enterprise settings, we're going to want to make our security a lot stronger than that, of course, but for the sake of this video, demonstration purposes, we're just going to go ahead and go with these settings right now. So we're good. And we've got confirmation of what we just assigned, and we'll finish it. And we will move on. So what we're going to want to do now with Ronnie is right click on that name, and we're going to want add to a group. And for this purpose, we're going to choose Sec Glow Sales Security Group. We're going to be adding Ronnie to. So we'll go put that into the object names, check the names, and we can see it is confirming that we are with that security group for Ronnie. Okay that, and also get the confirmation by it being underlined also right here. And okay out of that. And the confirmation prompt, okay. Now we're going to go to Set Glow Security Group, and we're going to want to right click that, head down to Properties, and we're just going to confirm that in this Properties dialog box that the members now have Ronnie with all the other members as well, so we're good. And member of, confirming the new security group we're adding Ronnie to. And we'll just go ahead and cancel. And we'll leave this window open for right now. Now, what we're going to want to do is create a login script on PC 11. So to do that, we're going to head over to our desktop and the notepad icon. We're going to right click that and go into Run as Administrator. And when the user account control UAC prompt comes up, yes. Now we're in our notepad as the administrator. You have to run this way. Otherwise, without the elevated permissions, you won't be able to create the login script. Now to do that, we're just going to run a very basic VB script, Visual Basic. And for the sake of the video, we'll go ahead and just speed up things a little bit. So we'll get right back as soon as I create that script. Alrighty, so we're creating, in this script, basically it's telling, we're going to link a shortcut icon to the other PC 11. That way it's there, and we'll also link the folder and the redirection to that link on that PC 11 desktop. That's what this script is creating right here. So once we're done with all the scripting lines of code, we're going to head over to File, Save, and in the address bar, click once, and we're going to put our new address, which is going to be DC10 netlogon. Select Enter, and now you can see how it locks it in, saves it. Rename the file name for it, which will be tickets.vbs, the extension for Visual Basic scripting, and we're going to want to save that. So we're good now with this script we created. We can go ahead and close our notepad. And we'll head back to the dashboard for Windows Server Management. Back to Tools. Well, you know what, rather, I'm sorry. We'll go back over here, and we're going to just, on Type field, we're just going to click it once, and then we line up all of our users. We're going to start with Angel, and then holding the Shift key down, go down to the last one, select all of the users, And we're going to right click in this blue area, bring up properties. Now under profile tab right here, select that, and then we're going to want to enter the name of the login script that we just created in Notepad. So select that box, go into here and just put in tickets.vbs. That was our file name. And select OK. Okay, so for now we're good in our domain controller. We are going to switch back over to our PC11 computer. And under other users, we're going to enter the username and password for Ronnie. And the password. Okay, now with that Notepad Plus Visual Basic script that we wrote just a second ago, we see that we created the new shortcut icon on the desktop where we'll be linking our folder redirection for other users. So we'll just double click that to verify. And now they have the support center for OS Ticket. Once we verified that, we can close it. Now we're going to create our folder redirection policy. So we're going to head back to the domain controller. In Server Manager, we're going to go to the main window under Tools, and we're going to go for Group Policy Management. Okay. Now we already have this force.corp.515support.com expanded. We're going to head on over to non-admins. Open this up in this window. And we're going to right click non-admins and create a GPO in this domain and link it here. And we'll rename our new GPO group policy object. .515 support folder redirection policy. After we delete the old one, excuse me. And OK. And now that we've got that renamed, that GPO, we're going to right click and edit. Under user configurations, we're going to go policies, Windows settings, folder redirection, and now under documents, we're going to right click that and get to the properties. And we're going to want to rename it or change the settings in the drop down box to basic redirected to everyone's folder. And under root path, we're going to want to link that now for our new policy and folder. And the root path will be MS10 roaming under the UNC username convention. OK that, and yes for the warning. And we're going to want to come down and just sign out. We'll right click start, shut down or sign out, sign out. Now we're going to configure the file share. So we're going to go into the member server. Open it up. Now for the account for Jamie, we're going to go ahead and password, get in there, excuse me. Kind of hard to see, but we're going to go into the File Explorer down below in the taskbar, click that once, go into the local C drive, and we can see the roaming folder now created. We're going to right click that and go into the properties and configure our sharing for this file. Under the sharing tab next to general, we'll go into advanced sharing in the roaming properties. Check off to share this folder. And then we're going to go into permissions. Now for this, for everyone in that security group, we're going to want full control. So we'll allow that. And we'll select OK for that. And we'll leave the roaming properties dialog box open for right now. Right here in security tab, in advanced, we're going to want to come on over here. I'm sorry about that, I apologize. For the principals and the access, we're going to want to disable the inheritance for some of these users. So let's go ahead first and actually disable the inheritance, because by default, all those settings and permissions will be inherited through the files and folders in the NTFS. So let's get rid of that. And we'll select both the users and leave these ones alone for the permissions. And we're going to want to remove users, ms10/users. Remove that also. Now we're going to head over to add. And under select a principal, click that. And we're going to want to enter the object name to select. So we will choose authenticated users. Check the names. Now we see it confirmed by underlining authenticated users and select OK. And when it says applies to in this drop down box here, we're going to go this folder only. And now we're going to change the basic permissions right here. So show advanced permissions, click that. And we're going to want to get rid of read permissions and check the box for create folders append data. Remove read extended attributes and remove list folder read data. And we'll leave traverse folder execute file. So traverse folder, execute file, read attributes, and create folders, append data. And we will be okay. And we can go ahead and close our roaming properties dialog box now also. So now we'll test our policy and see how that all turned out in our PC11 computer on the VM lab. So we'll switch from the member server over to the PC11. We still got our shortcut icon here. And what we'll do is go into the File Explorer down below in the taskbar on the left side. Open that. Copy some files from C:/lab files to the documents folder. Already did that. So what we're going to do is get into our Windows PowerShell by the Start button on the left corner. we have to enforce the group policy now through the command line. So really quick, we're just going to do a simple command called gp update for group policy. And we're going to add the switch force to it. We don't have to. I'm sorry. We'll just do that. We don't need that. And we're going to get a warning probably here, and we'll have to sign off, restart. Not a big deal. Yeah, see, we got right here the warning. So what we're going to do is just sign out really quick and back in by right-clicking start, shut down, sign out. And we'll Control-Alt-Delete. Password for Ronnie. Applying folder redirection right here. So it's going to be just a little bit slow. And now what we're going to do is head back to the member server and check the contents of the roaming file. When all said and done, everything's configured correctly, we won't have access to that folder due to the permission settings that we requested. And we can see the new created folder for Ronnie. So when we click on it, we won't have access to it because we changed the permissions. Exactly what we wanted. And then it leads us into the documents folder, which we won't have access to as well. Permissions to access folder denied. So now we've tested the policy. We know what we enforce through our group policy objects is correct, and we're all set.